Hey everybody, welcome back to Darvanalee Designs Studio. For those that don't know, my name's Nicole Reed and today we are here for Slow Stitching Saturday and day 10 of our Advent. So let's get into it. Well, good morning or good evening everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to spend with me this morning while we do a little bit of slow stitching. We're still working on the tree, so we're doing some back stitch. We're going to do a little bit of chatting, and we're also going to open our day 10 of our Advent. So if you are new here and you've yet to subscribe, make sure you hit that subscribe button, the little bell icon beside it, and then that way you're not going to miss out on any of my future crafty uploads or Advent openings. Alrighty, so basically, as I said, we are working on the Birdsville cushion, which is by Wendy Williams, and as always you can go and head to their website and check out what they've got. I got my kit which came with all of my felt pieces and whatnot, so I got like a pack. It was a whole kit that I got from the quilt show back in May of this year. So by this stage, like, we're up to, I think, what is it, part 8 now for this, and I've just been doing about an hour each week on it and just slowly progressing through it and having a bit of a chit chat with you and whatnot. But today we have something a little bit different. I've got my scissors, I've got my floss, everything that I need. I love this is what I got from the lovely Gail. I opened that up for yesterday. You will see that on my floss tube. You can see a closer look of it. But I found the perfect scissors to go with it, Gail. So yeah, excuse me. I opened up a little pouch that I used to use as a travel pouch for when I go in the car, and I put my projects in there and whatnot, and this was inside it. There is a video to make this little coin pouch on the channel. Just put in to the search bar when you go to my home page. The search bar is next to the About tab, and you put in their coin purse, and I think it's a live stream that will actually come up for this one. I can't remember whether I did it as a video or a live stream, but either way you'll be able to learn how to make that with the little tab on it. So go check that out. And yeah, I found these scissors in there because I had 2 pairs and I lost a pair. I either left them at retreat or they fell out when I was packing and I didn't realise. And then I opened this up and I found my second pair because I thought I'd lost both at that retreat, but obviously I didn't. And it goes perfectly with it. So they now have their own little, I just wanted to show you that, Gail, because I'd probably forget in our, when we get our private get-togethers during the week. So yeah, so I've showed you that now. So it is actually getting used. I absolutely love it, and thank you very much. All right, so let's get stuck into the Advents. So we have one from the lovely Gail at Wamba Hollow Crafts. We also have one which is a sewing quilting one from Said With Love, and then we also have one from Decor Me Monique, who is on Etsy, and that is her logo there. Alright, so, and I've put that where I can see it for future videos. I forget to take it if I'm out and about doing the Advents, unfortunately. So grab yourself some stitching, whether it be cross stitch or you're doing slow stitching. If you're joining in and doing the tree, I know there are a couple people that are actually doing the tree. They have contacted me over on Instagram to let me know, and I'm just going to adjust the camera a little bit because it's a little bit wonky, so bear with me for just a second. I do apologize for that. Alright, so I am at my slow stitching station in my studio, which is a bit of a mess at the moment because, as you can imagine, we are doing a lot of videos here, and a lot of stuff is not getting put away, and plus when I'm finishing I'm just sort of taking off and doing stuff with little Em because she's come to visit. Alright, we will get into the slow stitching in just a minute. Let's open up our Advents. We'll start with our ornament one as per usual, and I was handmade with love, it says. Alright, so we've got day 10, and this is from Decor Me Monique. I love all the little ornaments that I've got, and I decided that I'm going to send the little tiger back with Mia. She can take that home and put it out on the Christmas tree. Maybe she might want to leave it here. Alright, can't get into this one. Alright, don't go. There we go, got it off. Alright, squish that down a bit. Alright, and it's all packed in like this cardboard sort of stuff and wrapped and whatnot. Oh, I like these. I'm loving the ones that she does with the crystals. They are absolutely gorgeous. So that's just about, I've got a pair of earrings in the same color as that. I can match my Christmas tree, and it's got the little crystals on it. So far we've got, this is the 4th one that we've got with the crystals, and I'm now hanging them off my little sewing form that you see behind me in videos, because all the crystals are on it. So I'm hanging around the bottom of her skirts. So yeah, that is pretty. I love it. I'm really liking the crystal ones. All right, so the next one that we normally open is Said With Love. So let's see what we've got. Day 10. It's a bit, it's very flat. I don't know. I can't even feel anything in there. I feel like a lot of paper. Something soft. All right, let's find out what it is. Oh, excellent. Brilliant. I have heard nothing but good things about these. They are little leathers that stick onto your to the pads of your fingers, as you can see there. I've heard nothing but good things about them. I personally have never used them, but apparently, like, they're really good for when you're doing hand applique, as it says on the front, and any sort of hand sewing. So that might be a good one to use with my sashiko, and we'll do a little bit of an update on that. I haven't really done much since that, but I'll just check in and you can see it. But that might help with pushing it through. I do have the leather one that goes down here, but I tend to still go to push with my finger. So let's see what they've got to say. Day 10. These little leather dots stick just the spot that you need while sewing. They can be used a number of times each and are perfect for your EPP. So I'm seeing a little bit of a theme here. So we had a mug rug which has a tutorial, and then in the last few days, we've had stuff that has been centering around the hex. So we got the hexagons first, then we got the needles in the little container. Now we've got these. We also got the little charm pack as well. That they are going to come in handy. So I am going to sit them where I can see them. Actually, I might put them in my little EPP pouch. How's that? Then they're put away straight away. If you want to make this is also a tutorial on the channel. So again, go to the search bar and you'll be able to use that. And yeah, you can have all your stuff there. So these will fit in here nicely. And I take you through step by step on how to make this. So yeah, and you can have yourself a little, I used a lot of this, like this I got from excuse me, the little crabby I got in a little gift bag that I got at retreat at the end of October. I got this in the bag as well, and also this. So I decided to use all these, and so I'll be able to, and I've just added the magnet to the back, and then it stays in there, and I've got it there. So when I'm sewing, I can have this open, and I can just put my my little needle on there, and I won't lose it, because I have a bad habit of losing needles, and then people find them in their butts on the couch. I've almost been banished from sewing on the couch. But anyway, all right, let's move on to the one that we got from the lovely Gail. This has been a lot of fun, and I was talking to Gail last night, and just you know, saying how we were saying how lovely it is, and all the rest of it. And she was saying to us, you know, she had so much fun because she'd been doing it pretty much all year. And so she was making things and popping it, because she also did it for a couple of other friends as well. And she said she had so much fun, like she got so much enjoyment out of doing it, and she's just put so much thought and effort and everything into it, and it's absolutely beautiful, and I love it. So this one, oh, it's hard. Oh, I can't, oh, does it rattle? No, it doesn't rattle. It's got no sound. What do you reckon? I reckon maybe, I don't know. I can't feel anything weird about it, so I can't, there's no distinguishing. All right, open this up. Oh, I know what it is. I can smell it. It is some soap. So Gail was saying that she has been shopping on her favorite Etsy stores, and yeah, they were shopping last night as well. This looks so, it's got a straw in it. Oh my goodness. And it's got, it's called Coffee Vanilla Boba. Now, boba tea. So if you don't know what boba tea is, that is, a lot of people call it bubble tea because it has a little syrup pearls in the bottom, or it can have tapioca in the bottom. I drink both. And this smells, I so wish that we had smell-o-vision because this is just divine, absolutely divine. I love vanilla and I love coconut, that, which was one of the ones I got the other day, and this one is got, it has olive oil, coconut oil, organically and sustainably grown palm oil, distilled water, lye, castor oil, almond oil, fragrance, skin-safe colorants, eco-friendly glitter, and melt pour soap. Wow, there is a lot of effort gone into this. It is like, it actually looks like a frothy latte, almost like an iced coffee, and I love the little straw in it. That is so cool. So cool. I just so wish you could smell this. I just want to sniff this all day. It is so nice. Coffee and vanilla together is, oh, yes. Yes, 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 and more yes. So that's what it looks like. It's absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much, Gail. I am going to be lathering myself up in the bath very soon with that one. That is, I love those sort of smells. So for me, coffee, vanilla, and coconut are my favorite scents, and I really like them together, and they are more my summer scents that I go for, and then my winter I go more for your earthier smells and stuff like that, so like your frankincense and ylang-ylang and all those sort of fragrance in winter. I believe it or not, I actually have a signature scent that I wear all the time called Karma, and but in summer I don't wear it as often. It is more my winter, autumn, scents and all the rest of it. All right, so thank you so much to Gail for that lovely advent, and also to Moni K, and also Said With Love, which I have been forgetting to tag them on YouTube. So I'm going to say this in this video now. Nicole, put that in the description below. To editing Nicole. Anyway, all right, so I have my coffee. It is just gone 9 o'clock on Saturday morning here. Little M is off with Poppy at the moment. They are curling up on the couch and watching some rubbish TV. We are going to do some more back stitching today, and I'm hoping, beyond all hopes, that my needle is still in here, and it looks like it is not. I thought I put it in here, and wouldn't you know it, I must have taken it out when I was stitching and packing up. So let me just see, that is not the needle. Where is it? Let me just have a look for my needle. I'm positive that I had it here. Did I pop it in there? No. Is it in here maybe? Let me just have a look here. What do we got? Well, there's my needle threader, so we're getting closer. I have my scissors, I need them out. All right, I will just grab myself a needle. All right, here we go. I have a really bad habit of losing my needle. See what I mean? Like someone's going to get that in their bottom, no doubt. All right, so I'm just going to grab my brown thread. Got my scissors. I ended up using the tin that we got the other day from Said With Love for the wonder clips, and I'm just going to put that into my travel, because I pull mine in and out, but I'm going to chuck that into my travel kit for when I go to retreats and stuff like that. All right, so let's get a little bit of floss off. Okay, so I am using CXC threads, and this is 898 that I'm using for the tree. So that makes it nice and easy to remember what I'm using. I just have it left out. These are just sitting on the bench, so if I need them for anything else, I can just grab them. And they're a little bit thicker, I would say, than your DMC threads. They give really good coverage in cross stitch. Like I've used them quite a bit in my cross stitch, and I really like the coverage of 2 strands. on 14 count Ada. It's brilliant as well. There's just, because they're just that little bit thicker. This one's being a bit of a bugger and not coming apart, but yeah, they're just that little bit thicker, and makes for a really nice coverage. All right, so let's get into some stitching. Leave me a comment down below and tell me what you're working on. I am only going to be sticking around for probably about 40 minutes today. Do a little bit of stitching. If I can get a fair bit done, I will stick. If I'm almost finished, I'll stick around. But I've got to take little Em out today. We're going to the pool again. So all she wants to do is go to the pool. I'm like, okay, we'll go to the pool. But I said to her, because she wanted to go at 6 o'clock this morning, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's not happening, sweetie. I'm sorry, I love you, but I'm not taking you to the pool at that hour of the morning. That is just far too early for me. And I said, I've got to do a little bit of work this morning. So yeah, so basically I'm just going to stick around here for about half an hour, or until at least when Poppy leaves for work. Then I can, because he's relaxing with her at the moment. I believe Savannah's heading off to work soon, so he'll head off about half an hour after her, and then I'll get this video sorted, and then we'll head off to the pool for the afternoon. I said to her that we'll probably go around lunchtime, because otherwise she gets tired and crabby and not real nice. Alrighty, so leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you're working on. Are you getting ready for Christmas now? Are you starting to get panicky? Have you got all your shopping done? I am pretty much done. We're having an early Christmas here with Mia, probably like the night before she goes or something like that. The day before she goes, maybe 2 days before she goes, so she can yeah. And then she's going back to her mum's so we'll take her back on the 20th, I think we've worked out, which is the Tuesday of next week. So that'll be 2 weeks that she's here. Then she'll go back with her mum. She's got a thing on between Christmas and the 27th or 28th. I will head back down and pick little Em up, and then we will do some more going to the park and the pool and all that sort of stuff over the New Year break. So yeah, I mean, that's the plan so far. So yeah, a little bit of driving to do. That was a very small stitch, Nicole, but anyway, no one is even gonna know. So yeah, so you can see here, I'm just, if you're new here, this is, I'm doing backstitch, and we're doing wool felt applique. I probably should have said that at the beginning of the video, but anyway, you can see what it is on the thumbnail and whatnot. And so basically what I've been doing is just slowly working on this each week. I haven't worked on it every week, so there's been some weeks where we've missed a video and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just slowly working on it. It's my Saturday project, and I just come on here and do a little bit of a whip and chat with you guys and get it done. So the tree is almost done. We basically only have, and I think I can get it all on camera, so we only have this section here to do. And you can see that it goes pretty quick. Like once I get stitching, I can get it done pretty quick, but I've got so much other stuff going on. This is my Saturday morning stitch. I basically grab my cuppa, usually a little bit earlier than this, but I've had a couple of really late nights, just with work and Brendan getting home late and the kids finishing late from work and stuff, having to pick them up. So, and then I'm sort of a little bit wound up and I'm not getting to sleep as early like last night. And then I got sucked into Wuthering Heights last night and I finished that. I have my my internet going over there off to the side. There is actually a watch party happening at the moment on a friend's booktube channel. They're off watching the movie, and then they come back and discuss it and how different it was from the book and this, that and the other. And yeah, so I just checked in and said, hey, I'm here, I'm watching, I've got it on, but I'm going to be filming. I'm not watching the movie today. Just thought I'd check in and say hi, because it's 4:30. Well, when I was on, it was 4:30. in the afternoon on Friday, and that was at 8:30 this morning when I was on there with them. That I'm actually hosting in January with Heather from Heather's Heroines and Heroes booktube. So yeah, lots of stuff's happening around here. Yeah, and it's really hard to not talk about my booktube on here without you know, like, because it's a substantial part of my days. I do watch a lot of craft videos and all that sort of stuff too, but I spend about an hour every morning watching people's videos. I have a watch list, a never-ending, ever-growing watch list. It's almost like my TBR. It's ever-growing. Now, I know that some of you may not know this, but I actually am doing a book advent over on my booktube channel. So I'm opening a book up over there every day, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. I've actually really enjoyed it, and they're not Christmas books. They are just like, so far they've been political thrillers and mysteries and all the rest of it. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun actually. Yeah, I did it on this channel last year, but because I split the channels because books were starting to, because Mia went back, and so I've had a lot of, we'll talk a little bit about my healing process, I guess, today, because I have had a lot of questions from, you know, people that have been concerned, and, you know, there was a few people that seen me 2 weeks after Mia went back and could see that I was not real well, and whatnot. So I think for me, unbeknownst to me, I've always been a reader. Since a young kid, I've always been a reader. I've always had something on the go, whether it be on my Kindle. I'm new to audiobooks and whatnot, but I've always had some sort of book on the go. When the kids were little, I didn't read as much as I used to prior to having kids. On average, I would read, I mean, I was doing a lot of traveling and stuff then too, so that sort of gave me time to read and whatnot. But on average, I wasn't reading as much as I am now. I was probably reading 1 book a week. Now I'm probably reading with audio. Definitely reading 1 physical book a week. I read a lot faster with my Kindle as well. So I'm now able to get 2 done, but with audio I can get 4 books, because a lot of time I can, you know, I'll start a book, and if I'm not careful, I'll go down the rabbit hole of just reading books and no work will get done. So anyway, now I read a lot more. Like I am reading on average anywhere from 2 to 4 books a week. I'm reading, but that, as I said, that is with audio as well. So and on Kindle, for some reason, I don't know what that is, like in a Kindle, when I'm reading on my Kindle, I can fly through a book. Like I can read a book. I've never been one to read a book in a day, unless it's a short book. Like if it's a couple of 100 pages, yeah, I can do that. But like I'm talking like a standard novel, what, 350, 400 pages? I've never been that motivated to read it in a day. But I have done that before. Twilight series comes to mind. I read the entire 4 books in over an Easter weekend. So what's that? That's a 4 or 5 day. You know, I had to sleep and I had kids and all that. The kids were little, but it was miserable weather. They were watching TV. I was not interested in watching Dora the Explorer yet again, and Anyway, I read that. I borrowed them off a friend, and I don't like to borrow books off people because, you know, I had little kids. I didn't want them to get wrecked or, you know, accidentally get damaged or something like that, and then have to buy them anyway and still not own them. Anyway, she said, look, I've finished them with them. You can read them. It's fine. Take as long as you want. She gave them to me on the Thursday afternoon, and I handed them back to her on the Wednesday because I seen her the Wednesday, but I had finished them on the Tuesday afternoon. I sat up. I think I only had like each day 4 hours of sleep. I don't even know how I physically did that with little kids as well. And I don't even know how my eyes didn't fall out of my head, but those books were just bingeable. Like, you could just binge them quite easily. And now there's lots and lots of books that are quite bingeable. But for some reason on my Kindle, I can knock over a book in a day. Like, I can just fall down it. And I don't know whether that's because the book is like, because it's lightweight, the Kindle, and I'm not actually flicking the pages or anything like that. I don't have the numbers down the bottom either to see where I'm at, going, oh, you know, I've read 50 pages, maybe I should get up and do something. But yeah, because I just tap. I've got a little button, or I can just tap the screen and it'll just flick. Because I think I've got an Oasis. I can't even remember what my Kindle is. I think I've got an Oasis. I got it last year, no, year before. I think I got it. I can't remember when I got it. I think it is an Oasis, but anyway, it is it has got the backlight in it, so I can, whereas my other Kindle that I had, which was just an Audi e-reader, that didn't have a light, so I couldn't necessarily read it at night without having, you know, the other lights in the bedrooms on. Whereas this one, I can turn all the lights off and I can continue reading, and it's not a bright light. You can dim it down, you can brighten it up. It's not overly harsh on the eyes, and it just makes it a lot easier to read longer, I guess, and quicker. You know, I don't have to have a light on to read, and so yeah, I think that is really helping with the reading side of things. But anyway, when Mia went back, I sort of was not in a good place, and I think I just naturally gravitated towards reading because that is what I've always used to you know, in the past when I've gone through a stressful time or anything like that, I just use the I've just used the books to heal myself as such. And then I'll find that I without knowing it, I will gravitate towards books that have the same issues in it or those themes. Like, so there was a lot of books that I've read this year and also towards the end of last year where they were found family. There was you know, children living with their grandparents, longing for their mum. So it also, like, in a way helped me understand also where Mia might be as well as where I am as well. So yeah, so I've thrown myself into reading and stuff like that. And normally, you know, like I could probably talk about this over on my booktube, but you know, you guys are interested as well, especially those that have been around for a while and know that Mia went back and now she's here and we haven't seen her for 18 months and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I've got some hilarious stories to come up as well about that. But anyway, yeah, so I've just used books to sort of heal myself and fall into, in a form of escapism. But I noticed that I have been gravitating towards books that have helped me emotionally deal with that. Even like themes of not being able to see a child and stuff like that, and fighting to, you know, in a way, not a non-aggressive way, to get them back in your life and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, and it's really, and it's all from fiction. It's not non-fiction stuff because I want to escape. I don't want to, when I'm in that state, I don't want to learn anything or improve anything. I just want to fall into a story and lose myself, basically. But it's worked, and subsequently I've had a lot of time to do a lot of reading. And last night I was talking to my homies, me nomies. We got a little magnet from Gail, Stitching with Me Nomies. So yeah, I was having a bit of chat with them, and I looked at how many books that I have read in the last 2 years. And yeah, it was 255, I think it was, because I've tracked all my books for the last 2 years over on Goodreads, and I'm like, holy. And I'm at 100, and I haven't updated yet, but I will click over today because I finished Wuthering Heights last night. I will click over to 140 books for the year, and yeah, that's a lot of books. And you know, a few of them have been audio as well, so that's not just reading physical books. But in saying that, as well, a lot of the audio books that I have listened to, I also have the physical here, so it's been a combination, or I've done both. So with my classics, I do immersive reading with that, and let me just get a magnet, so I've got one here. I do immersive reading with that, so that means that I am listening and reading along, and I do that mostly with classics. So I've read a few classics this year as well. They're nice and sharp, those scissors, because they've been hidden for a while. Yeah, so I've been doing a bit of that, and also Kindle Unlimited, they have a really good selection of books that have audio with it, and so you get to listen or read it. So a lot of time I will start a book at night, read the physical book on my kid, or read the Kindle book, and then I will come out to work the next day and continue listening to the book, and then end the day with reading the book. So I do a bit of that. That's mostly with Kindle Unlimited books though. And then there's I also have a Scribed account, so while I've got physical books here, sometimes I'm able to find them over on Scribe, and that way I can, if I pick up a story and I'm right into it, because some books I pick up and like it's just straight into it. I've got a review coming up about The Wraith on my book channel, and that was yeah, that was brilliant. Like it just got straight into, like it was no hold bar, straight into the story, and like I was on the edge of my seat. It's a little bit creepy, and it's probably not everybody's cup of tea, but and yeah, I was like on the edge of my seat from the moment the book started, and I was pretty happy with that. So yeah, but yeah, that's what I've done. I feel like I've healed myself with all the books that I've been reading, and that, which is good, because it means then I can function as a human being, and I don't want to just, well, I still want to hide away from the world, but that's just me naturally. I don't even have to have trauma in my life for that sort of thing. It's just, yeah. Oh, but with Mia here, and I know that I'm talking a lot about Mia, but we are just so happy to have her back here, to be able to see her. And it's been funny because the other day, Savannah was putting on her makeup, I think, or she was laying on the bed just reading on her phone, and Savannah made her own phone cover, and there's a partial swear word on there. I'm standing there and talking to Savannah, and I walk in, and I'm sorry, I'm just laughing because the look on Savannah's face was priceless. I walked in, and anyway, buddy, Mia's there going, Mima, Nana's got a swear word. She's got the S word on the back of her phone, meaning shish, but with a T, right? The look on Savannah's face was priceless, and I just went, oh yeah, Savannah, she can read now. Because when she left, she was just starting to read. Now she can actually read and spell and all that sort of stuff. And then my youngest daughter has a bit of a potty mouth at times, and we're slowly correcting that behaviour. She's pulling herself up quite a number of times now. Like, you know, I'm your mum, and while I don't necessarily mind that you let them slip every now and again, you can't use it in your normal everyday vernacular. You have to learn how to keep that in check when you're at home. You know, in your own home, obviously you can do what you want, but you need to learn how to keep that in check. So when you're out in public, you're not going to slip one of those into a conversation when you're talking to someone, an elderly lady or an elderly gentleman, while you're at work, because that's why you need to learn how to check it. Yeah, so that's what we're sort of learning. And, you know, I let it go, but you'll see, she's been really trying to keep it in check. And anyway, Mia comes flying out into the studio. Was it yesterday or the day before? It must be yesterday. Comes flying out into the studio because she wouldn't let me watch TV, and I just didn't want to watch the cartoon that she was watching. So I'm like, I'm going out into my studio. You know where I am. It was really hot here, and I was exhausted, and I just did not want to go and do anything out in the heat. And because I've had a pretty big week, and it's been a very exciting week, and, you know, I'm back to having a little person here who just steals all your energy. And yeah, and so basically I'm out in the studio, and she comes flying out. And Darvanalee was home yesterday, so they were hanging out together doing diamond painting and all that. Like, they were just doing their thing that they do, playing games and all that sort of stuff, and lounging around and just having a really nice relaxing day. And she was flying out, and she goes, Mima, Ray said a naughty word. And I'm like, oh yeah, what did she say? And she goes, she just looked at me as if to say, you know I can't say it. Why are you asking me what she said? So then she proceeded to spell it to me. And I'm like, So Darvanalee, she knows how to spell the words. She knows what you're saying. She's not a little girl anymore. You need to stop it. Darvanalee's like, when did this all happen? Because I mean, 18 months in a little person's life is a lot of developing time. You know, like, we're losing teeth. We're growing. We're learning a lot of reading and stuff at school, and yeah, so it's been interesting to say the least. No. So I had to strike a deal with her today that I had to do a couple of things this morning, but we'll have lunch, and then after lunch we'll go down to the pool, because the school kids are still doing swimming lessons and stuff, so we haven't been able to go down during the day because all the school kids are there, and it's just too hectic. They've got a couple of classes going at a time, so we've just been going. In the afternoon is when I said to her we'll have to go, but today is, as you know, Saturday, and so I thought we'll have lunch, because that's a good 6 hours down at the pool then after lunch, and yeah, that'll give us some good swimming time. She'll sleep well tonight. I'll be able to get some stitches in. I don't necessarily go swimming. I don't like cold water. And so she just goes there, she takes her pool noodle, she just has a really good time splashing and carrying on. Unfortunately, the girls are working, so they won't be able to come, but they might be able, I think Monday and Tuesday they're both off, so we might make a afternoon of it again. The schools should be finished now with their swimming lessons. Kingaroy State might still be doing theirs up until they finish, but I don't know when the state schools finish. See, because all the private schools have already finished. That's why Mia's on holidays. So I'm not 100% sure when the state school breaks up. I think it's the 15th. Or it might be next Friday. What's that? So Monday's the 12th, so that'll be Tuesday, 13, 14, 15, 16, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So 16th maybe? It's usually around that. It's usually about 10 days prior to Christmas, so yeah, it must be the 16th. So I'm guessing that they would have finished up. If not, they'll have a couple more lessons on Monday and Tuesday for their swimming lessons, and then that's it. She'll be able to go to the pool every day. But I think if I can get a couple of hours of work done each day, then we can spend the afternoon down there. So I've got some books to read. I have a cozy mystery to read, and I've got a couple of my Jessie Hunt. There's 3, and there was another one coming out, so I was going to read them this month, but I thought they're only short books. They're only like 200 pages, so I've decided to hold them over till January, and then I will read them, and I will probably end up discussing them on my Stitch With Me, because I started that series, because I originally started BookTube on this channel, and I know that a lot of people were on the Stitch With Me hearing about that book, so I will continue that until that series is finished. Now, from what I can tell, it's Blake Pierce is the author, and the books are around, they swing between 190 pages to 250 is the biggest one I think I've had, and I'm just reading and listening to them on Kindle, and or actually I'm reading them on Kindle, and because they're free, like they're on Kindle Unlimited, I think. No, there was only a couple. I think the first couple were free on Kindle Unlimited when I first found it. So I am listening to them on Scribed, because I pay a membership to that, like Kindle Unlimited, and then sorry, I just had to pause them because little Em just came out and she thought I'd finished. She couldn't hear me, so she thought I'd finished. Oh, sorry, Mima, I'll come back. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I've been listening to them on Scribe. Now I have 3 on Scribed ready to go. But there was one coming out in January, so they pretty much come on Scribe straight away. So if it doesn't come, and I'm pretty sure it was the beginning of January was the date. If it doesn't come on at the beginning of January, then it'll be February that I will read them. I'll just hold them over and I'll probably just read them back to back and get those ones done. But from what I can see, there's only 26, and I've got to 21 now, 22, so we've only got another 4 books to go where we'll be winding up the series. So when we left that series, which was a few months ago, I was waiting for the new one to come out. I had caught up. Jessie and I can't think of his name now. Ryan, is it? Jessie and Ryan, I think it is. So Jessie's sister was living with her, and Ryan was living with them, and Ryan had proposed to her, and I think they were just about to have the wedding, maybe, because there's like the storyline is she's a criminal profiler, and basically her father is a serial killer, and as a child she witnessed the murder of her mother. That you find that out in the first book, and by her father. He killed her mother in front of her, and yeah, and she managed to escape, and so then there's it just flows on from there. So as I said, we've had, like, sometimes I think, oh my god, Jessie, just stop, just, go and be a normal person and stop. But I was really happy with the character development and the storyline. Like, it was good. Like, she was developing as a profiler and whatnot, and that sort of got a little bit stagnant there for a little bit, which sometimes happens in books. Now it's sort of just, where is she going to end up? I'm more curious about Hannah, her sister, who is her half sister, who had the same serial killer father but different mothers, and she has some very icky tendencies, so to speak. So I'm more now invested to see where Hannah is going to go. So I've read 19 of the books. As I said, they swing between 190 pages to 254, I think was the longest one. That number just keeps popping in my head, so I'm thinking that that's the magic number. But anyway, I had caught up, and that's why I hadn't read any. And so yeah, now there's been, because they come out I think every 2 months, so I believe I've got 3 books on there ready to go on the audio, and as I said, the January one, I'm not sure when that is coming out in January. If it's in the early part of January and I can get the audio, then most definitely I will read them in January, because I polish them off in a day. They're not very long. The audio, I listen to as you know, I listen to my audios pretty quick, so I can polish them off in a couple of hours. Not a couple, maybe 3 or 4 hours, maybe 5 hours, but that's a work day for me. So if I'm not editing and I'm at the quilt machine or I'm sewing, I can just put one on and yeah, so I'll probably go back to doing 1 a week of those, and then until I'm up to date again. And then there was the other series that I started on this channel as well, which was the so you know, on Netflix they've got that Sweet Magnolia series. I think they've got 3 seasons on there now. Well, that is a book by Cheryl Wood, Cheryl with an S, and I had read I didn't realize it was a book, and then I started watching the show, and I had watched the first season, and then I realized it was a book. So then I went looking for the books, and I found them also on Scribed as well. So I have read the first 2, I think. So I'm going to and I can't really remember it, and I don't think I actually reviewed it, so I'm going to revisit those and finish that series off, because I believe there is 9 or 10 in that series. And we also had the Virgin River series on here, which I have read the entire series. I think there is a new book coming out, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to go and do a little bit of research on that. And again, I listen to them all on audio, because that's a lot of books to buy. And again, I'm pretty sure I listen to them all on Scribed as well. Yeah, it's although those Virgin River books, they're you could revisit those, because it just follows on for the stories, and they're just sweet, cozy little stories. Yeah, it's just small town life, rural life. They're very different from the series. Like, the series is very much it's there, and the underlying one there is there, with Jack and forget her name, you know, the 2 that are in love in the show. I haven't watched the series at all. I've watched the first, I'll stand corrected, I have watched the first 2 seasons, but I believe there's another 2 seasons on Netflix now. So yeah, I might binge watch them, because I'm planning on not doing any sort of reading between I'm planning on it, but I still read though, between Christmas and New Year. I just want to do a lot of stitching, yeah, I just want to sit back, relax, and when Mia's not here, so where's my scissors gone? There they are. I just want to chill out. I probably still will read, because I can't help myself. And I've got this month I'm reading, I just finished Wuthering Heights. I started Middlemarch the other day again, and yeah, so, and I've got Oliver Twist is keyed up next to read that. And yeah, so I am, what did I just do with my needle? Did you see what I did with my needle? Oh, there it is. Oh my god, I'm a shocker. So yeah, I've got Oliver Twist to read. I have Villette to read, and I have Cozy Mystery for the Cozy Hollow Book Club, and I think that's about it that I've got to read. 3 of those are classics. Christmas Carol, I started that yesterday. Not yesterday, Thursday. I started that. But Mia wasn't interested in reading it, so, and then last night she was just absolutely buggered. She was falling asleep on the couch, so I didn't try to read to her. I just put her to bed, and she was asleep within minutes of hitting the pillow. So yeah, she was still full of beans, but she was tired. Like, you could see she was tired. And then she came out and she's like, I want to go to bed. And so yeah, we did that. So hopefully I can start reading that to her, because that was the plan, to read it to her, because I've read it to all the kids. When she was little, like by default, she's heard it, but she's not as older and being able to read herself along with me. And that's, so I'm going to curl up in bed with her tonight. We'll go a little bit earlier, and I'll read to her. And I sort of want to make it a bit of a tradition, and I just recently got Charles Dickens' other Christmas stories, and I'm sort of on the hunt for some other ones as well that just come in like a collection of them, and yeah, read them to her and all the rest of it. Get her to have a love of reading as well. Her mother definitely does not like to read. That was our biggest battle when she was at school, was getting her to read her home readers. She hated it with a passion, and even as an adult she just doesn't like it. It's just not her thing. Although she has read books, but she's not a big reader. She'll probably read maybe 1 or 2 a year, if that. Whereas me and Savannah could read a library in a year. Feels like at times. Nerylise, she went on a bit of a binge reading there for a while, and her book buying has slowed down a bit, but yeah, she was looking at books the other day, and yeah, so, but anyway, we're having a lot of fun, a good time and whatnot. But I can hear Little Em, she's at the door, so I am going to have to call it a day. She's getting a bit antsy, she wants Mima, and so I'm going to call it a day. I will check back in again next Saturday and do some more stitching. We'll be again working on the tree, because the reason I was hoping to have this tree done, and I had all intentions of doing it, and then we had family turn up last week, and yeah, I went over to the workshop, and then we ended up sitting around the table talking and stuff like that, so no stitching got done. And I won't do any sort of craft or anything when I'm around all of them, because they're not into it, and yeah, it's for me it's like the unless everybody else is doing it, it's almost like the equivalent of being on your mobile phone. You know, you're not making eye contact and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, and his family's just not into craft at all, so they'd probably be looking at me as if I had 2 heads. But anyway, it is what it is. Alright, so as I said, I am going to head off because she's tapping on the door. I don't know whether it's picking up on the microphone or not. It's a very soft tap, but I can hear it. Alright, I'm going to call it a day today. I'd just like to say thank you very much to everybody that has been very excited the fact that Mia is here and have left all the beautiful comments over in the group. It was absolutely wonderful. I didn't realize so many people were had known about it, and yeah, but thank you very much for your support and your encouragement and your hurrahs and so happy and your prayers and everything else that has been going on in those comments. Thank you to everybody that's been playing along with the movie advent as well. It's been great to see everybody. I didn't watch the movie last night. I am going to probably watch that later on this afternoon when we get home from the pool, because I really don't want to stay there till close. But yeah, I think Mia will get a kick out of that one. She's been a bit of a Grinch on the Christmas movies, so I've been banished to watch them in other rooms and whatnot. But anyway, I will head off now. You have a lovely day no matter where you are. Hopefully you are getting some stitches in, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.